Toxic cycles can drain you. They will suck the life out of you. So your self-esteem can take a hit. You are having the same fight over and over. And today I'm going to help you identify if you are possibly in a toxic cycle. Hi, my name is Olivia. I'm passionate about helping you understand what relational trauma is so that you can prevent it, heal from it, overcome it, and move on with your life. So today, everything is coming from my book, Have You Had Enough? How to Break Up with Your Toxic Cycle. You can find this on Amazon. The link will always be in the description. So if we're talking about a toxic cycle, that means you are in a relationship with someone. It could be a coworker, a family member, like a sibling, a parent, a child, a partner, or it could be in a friendship. It just seems like it's the same problem over and over and over. And when that happens, you can begin to feel really helpless because you can get to a place where you feel like you have tried everything. You've tried crying, you've tried arguing, you've tried mapping it out on a diagram and trying to point out to someone, this is like the problem as I see it, and can we find a resolution? And the problem is, you can leave those conversations sometimes feeling like, finally, we're not going to do it anymore, like it's been resolved, it's done. And then when it happens again, it really takes a hit to your self-confidence, to your self-esteem. So not only are you feeling drained, now your self-esteem is down, you're starting to feel hopeless because you feel like you've tried everything and nothing's working. And beyond the draining and the low self-esteem, you sort of feel like you're working backwards. Like not only are we not growing and not going anywhere, but now like whatever we had is slowly being eroded. So that's really a sign that you're stuck in a toxic cycle with someone. There's an important distinction to, make. So you could be in a toxic cycle, or you might be in a toxic relationship. If you're in a toxic cycle, they will end. Toxic cycles end, toxic relationships get worse. So if you're in a toxic cycle and you just haven't figured out how to get out of it because you probably don't even know you're in one, you just feel like we always fight about this, or you said you weren't going to do this anymore. I told myself I wasn't going to do this anymore, and now we keep doing it, and you don't really understand what it is you're in. So let's say you get the book, you learn how to map out and get out of your toxic cycle. If you're in a healthy relationship, the toxic cycle can end. You can stop having that same fight over and over, especially once you learn how to map it out and how to exit it. But let's say that you do that, the cycle ends, your relationship can be repaired, restored, and you can really start to grow, and it can get much better. You could be closer than ever before. If, however, you're in a toxic relationship, once you end that toxic cycle, you may find another one. And then you work through that and it ends, and now you got another one. You work through that and it ends, and now you got another one, right? So if it's just like your entire relationship is nothing more than a series of toxic cycles, that would be a toxic relationship, and that's not normally going to get better, especially without some form of an intervention like therapy. It's bound to self-destruct. So that's one way to know. If you figure out how to map out your toxic cycles and there's just more and more and more and more toxic relationship. Also, if you figure out it's a toxic cycle and you go to interrupt it and the person leaves you, probably a toxic relationship, because it's sort of like, if you're not going to let me be toxic with you, you're not going to play my game, you're not going to do the my way or the highway, and you're not just going to take my garbage, then I'm out of here. Well, that was a toxic relationship, and it honestly probably needed to end, even though it will still hurt. The other way you could know is if you find it's a toxic cycle, you map it out, and now this person tries to punish you for it. So maybe they give you the silent treatment. Maybe they emotionally or physically abandon you for a period of time. Maybe they try raging on you, or they, however it is anyone can punish you. There are lots of ways people can be creative. So if you just find that someone is trying to punish you, so they're not leaving, but they're also not excited that you're not having this cycle anymore, that's also a red flag that you might be in a toxic relationship. So I hope you found that helpful. This is just the start of this series, but it is being mindful. Okay, if I'm feeling hopeless, actually there is hope. If it's the same fight over and over, there is still hope it could change. We actually maybe have not tried everything. So again, you can find all of this and more, including how to map out your toxic cycle, from Have You Had Enough. I also have a worksheet that is available that walks you through the process. You can get that quick exercise off of my website, so you wouldn't have to read the entire book if you don't want to. And that link will be in the description as well. So take good care, and I'll see you in the next one.